Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. So I stroll in the house, and that is the point at which I see all the stuff on the table, some with peanut butter, and I'm similar to hello greetings, mother. I like you, okay? And he was like, no doubt, and I'm similar to what's going on, nothing, and afterward. He inquired as to why his father was so mean. Individuals who know what's happening in my bed understand what's happening with my bed and what in the world I do in it that ain't a great fit for everyone on the web, that ain't for no sites, I don't have to let anyone know where I put my wood. Dwight Howard Zach and the mother of his child, Royce Reed, just dropped a significant sensation and uncovered that during the coronavirus quarantine, Dwight coordinated oddity offs at his home, and his child, Braylon, saw all that. Now, a couple of years ago, an appointed authority requested Braylon to avoid all youngsters more youthful than him since he was improperly contacting somebody. And fans are currently saying it seems like Braylon was duplicating what he saw at Dwight parties. His child made her sweetheart's child. Came off no doubt improper wrongdoing of an excavator or something to that effect is charged, better believe it. I'm only inquisitive with respect to where the son might have gotten it from, cuz that is savage conduct. The situation sounds revolting as well as unlawful, and Roy said she's taking into account documenting a claim against Dwight, very much like Cassie did with Diddy, discussing Diddy. Bits of hearsay as of late sprung up that Diddy and Dwight used to party together, and clearly Diddy felt weak at the knees over Dwight for quite a while. However, there's significantly more that Royce Reed uncovered, so we should separate it all. We wound up going to court. What's more, I had a video of Braylon covering his face since he was saying the way that individuals were blowing smoke right in front of him, how Daddy's companions seemed to be zombies at the lower part of the steps. Daddy acts bizarre right when we assumed we heard everything about how debilitated media outlets is Dwight Howard's demon. Station Royce Reed joined the talk and uncovered she saw Dwight having an oddity off meeting before his young child to give you some setting back in October. Dwight affirmed that he's been connecting with men after his supposed casualty. Stephen Harper recorded a claim guaranteeing Dwight's him and constrained him into a trio with a trans individual named Kitty. Dwight conceded that Stephen and Kitty all connected at his home anyway, and he guaranteed the whole experience was consensual. Dwight likewise posted a video tending to the charges anyway. He overlooked the claim and claimed and on second thought pummeled fans for being meddling. That ain't no one business where I put my you. All strange if you have any desire to understand what individuals doing in their room and who they screwing with and laying down with you are unusual. You're the bizarre one. Gracious shoot, you all caught wind of that, Dwight. They said Dwight was in an instant message. Tragically, it's actual the in. A person web was more keen on making images about Dwight's sexuality than zeroing in on these intense claims yet. Presently, it turns out these charges are much more upsetting than we naturally suspected, on the grounds that Dwight's ex Royce Reed uncovered that Dwight was losing freak parties while his child Braylon was in the house. Royce, as of late, showed up on Vlad television and uncovered that during the seal lockdown, when most of us lacked the ability to see relatives in the emergency clinic, Dwight was tossing wild gatherings at his home with each pronoun. There were a ton of gatherings, and we should be on isolation. So that was an issue in itself, since who are these individuals? What are they doing here? You know, have they been tried? You're saying the world is finished, but yet you're welcoming the world over, and it was a wide range of individuals. Each pronoun was there. Royce was remaining at the visitor house, and she reviewed how one time she awakened from a rest to find the fundamental house brimming with individuals doing a wide range of despicable things. I felt like I was in an episode of something, since it's like hurling over the gallery like you got others reviling each other out and calling one another, and afterward, I'm staying here. The first thing in the wake of seeing this was when my kid Roy overreacted when she saw a table of what was presumably substance standard finnia and peanut butter. She then at that point asked Dwight where his child was. Nevertheless, Dwight seemed like he was unable to mind less in the house. I see him even before I stroll into the house. What's up? Where's Brian? I don't have the foggiest idea about he's someplace truly, so I stroll in the house, and that is the point at which I see all the gear on the table, some with peanut butter, and I just lose it. And afterward, gracious, and afterwards there's a young lady who just peed in a seat, and afterward, as I couldn't actually say whether Kitty was there, I could have met this. I could have met Kitty. I don't know. I met a great deal while I was there. Roy at long last found Braylon, who told her he went down the stairs to get a tidbit and inquired as to why his father was being so mean like you. Okay, he was like, definitely, and I'm similar to what's going on, nothing. And I'm similar to what to nothing, and I need to continue to ask him. And afterward, he at last let me know that he went down the stairs to grab a bite he needed a tidbit. And I recollect that I got him in resembling, did you take anything off that table? And he swore no, however it asked him so often in light of the fact that I really wanted it to be emphasized like so often to me. And he just swore no, and afterward, he asked what it was, and afterward he resembled he needed some peanut butter, and afterward, he inquired as to why his father was being so mean as indicated by Roy. One of the men she saw celebrating with Dwight was polygamist powerhouse Kevin Wesley. Roy said this large number of individuals appeared to be totally off the wall, and one of Dwight's companions even took steps to shoot up the entire house, and that is the point at which she understood she needed to take her child and leave. And afterward, his companion at that point, I recollect him going off on him. And afterward, I even recall the following day him taking steps to shoot up the whole house due to some gay. I didn't have any idea what that gay was. Nevertheless, I realized I expected to get out of there, and it transformed into this enormous, colossal contention, and he was compromising me. His face had gotten like I could see he was on something. However, I realized I expected to leave. And you know, one of his folks that used to work for him, I think he was his well-known coach, he was really there. He was an outsider, and he watched it, and he was in any event, attempting to inspire him to quiet down. Yet that is the point at which I realized I needed to pack my up, and we got to escape this house since it's getting truly hazardous and careless. And we left at 3:30 in the morning. At 3:34 as per Royce. Dwight undermined her and attempted to prevent her from leaving anyway. Royce realized she had to proceed to eliminate her child from that house. And I'm like, I got to leave since this is kid risk, and as though this wasn't upsetting sufficient a report as of late surfaced that Braylon was participated in unseemly lead with one more kid, which drove Roy getting captured on a kid disregard charge in WAC 2022. The Shade Room got court reports expressing that Braylon had a past filled with improper lead, including one episode where he supposedly constrained the child of Roy's sweetheart to play out a demonstration while the two young men were at Royce's home. As per the records, the examiners talked with Braylon, and he let them know that outrage triggers him into carrying on physically. Braylon was prohibited by specialists to have any direct with minors at least 2 years more youthful than him, and as per the court report, the child of Roy's beau falls in that class. Roy tended to this occurrence in her new meeting with Vlad and said she really figured out something improper was going on 2 years earlier, and she reached a specialist who was then obliged by regulation to report it to the specialists there, a circumstance where you capture and accused of kid disregard. So what precisely occurred? So I really figured out a few data that had occurred around 2 years earlier, and I called the specialist, and I revealed it. Since specialists are ordered journalists, it transformed into me getting charged with kid dismisses, yet I'm the person who settled on the telephone decision. I'm the person who basically expressed out loud whatever occurred, yet it deteriorates as indicated by Roy. She's been revealing improper things, since Braylon was a child anyway, an adjudicator who we can accept at least for now. That was paid off by Dwight compromised her and said he'd take Braylon away. I've revealed a few circumstances. I've been detailing that unseemly things are occurring with my child since Brian was a child, and I saw it rapidly. As a mother, I'm exceptionally involved, and you realize I saw everything. It began with him sitting in my entryway, hitting himself, and afterward he began contacting himself, entertaining us. We wound up going to court, and I had a video of Brian covering his face since he was saying the way that individuals were blowing smoke in front of him and how Daddy's companions seemed to be zombies at the lower part of the steps.